Hi, I'm Diana Falzone, and this is 4for4. Best-selling author John Grisham says old guys who look at child porn on their computer are different than pedophiles who try to have sex with kids. Gabrielle, what is he talking about?
Well, Stephen Collins just put in a call to his agent. He's trying to get attached to the next John Grisham project.
Is that too
ASAP.
soon? Too soon.
This is a huge PR fiasco. I don't know why you'd get in the middle of this. It sounds like he has a friend, but there's no separate part of the law for 6-year-old white men when it comes to child porn.
Yeah, he's got 3 books in development in Hollywood right now, and if he doesn't walk this back today, I'm talking within 24 hours, he's going to have 0 books in development. This is a third rail you do not want to touch, especially in Hollywood.
And speaking of 0, that's the amount of tolerance that everybody should have for pedophiles and people that look at child porn. And I don't see his point. Pedophiles are treated differently in jail than people who look at child porn. Their sentences are lesser
It would
than
be
pedophiles.
easy to say. A lot of celebrities do interviews where they just say something off the cuff. They don't think out loud. But it seems like he's been processing this for a long time.
He was very articulate.
He was very articulate. He kept going on about this most idiotic statement, I want to say, in the year. And speaking of naming the sexiest or the stupidest or whatever you want for the year, Esquire named Penelope Cruz its sexiest woman alive. Chris, do you agree?
I don't, because the sexiest woman alive is my wife.
Oh, now you're the sexiest man on this panel.
All these magazines have their sexiest. Maxim has one, GQ has one, Esquire has one. Who cares? Plus, it's October. There's still 2 months to be the sexiest.
Oh, come on. Like somebody's going to just pop up out of nowhere and be sexier.
Happen.
Penelope Cruz is sexy. She fits the bill. She is extremely mysterious. She barely talks to the media, which is why I want to give this journalist an award, because he took an interview where she clearly answered none of his questions and wrote about the only thing that happened, and that was her eating steak.
But why they show up as a celebrity and do an interview then?
Yeah, why don't you give the assignment to someone who actually has access to the person being profiled? I mean,
he had access. He was sitting right with her.
1,000 words about Madrid's bullfights before you even mentioned Penelope Cruz's name.
I thought it was fascinating.
It was like freshman composition all
Exactly.
over
And
again.
you know what a
So
what a professor would say to a student would say, padding, padding, padding. I also thought it really put her in a place of being objectified. Of course, sexiest woman, whatever. But you just talked about how she masticated the meat.
I think padding, padding, padding is what Penelope was doing with that top.
That's what.
All right, guys, before we just step into it. And Hathaway says social media Hathahaters cost her roles because they ruined her image. Carly, do you think cyber trolls have that much influence?
Listen, she's going to be in the upcoming movie Interstellar, which is going to be a huge blockbuster hit.
You think?
I do. If you are a celebrity, do not Google your name. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You're going to see something that you hate. And if you do, move on with your life.
But unfortunately, agents do, publicists do, studio execs do.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Well, I think... go back to the late, great Joan Rivers, shall we? She described her thusly. She said, Anne Hathaway, black. And I think that's what most people think of her, and it's probably for a reason.
If Joan says it, it must be right. I think that she should have come out swinging in this comeback interview. Instead, she played herself the victim once again, and that's not going to win her any fans. I feel bad for her. No one wants to be criticized online, but take a cue from Jennifer Lawrence, who doesn't put herself in the victim role even after that scandal.
Yes, but right now she is Hollywood's darling, Jennifer Lawrence. And at one point, Anne Hathaway was Hollywood's darling. We like to, let's just refer to celebrities as bubblegum. We like to just chew them up and go, oh, this is so flavorful, this is so great. And then as soon as they lose the flavor, we want to discard them. We build them up to break them down.
Hathalicious.
Hathalicious. Oh, it's a new thing. Brad Pitt said this week he only feels safe with a gun in the house. Gabrielle, should Pitt expect to take some shots from the Hollywood community?
It's interesting to me that this story has gotten more pickup by right-wing media than left-wing media. I think that he and Angelina are such darlings in the liberal community, and they've rightfully so done a lot of good work. But I think they're going to be willing to sort of brush this under the rug and chalk it up to him growing up in the Midwest.
If it was a right-wing star, I think they would have gotten some blowback from the anti-gun groups out there. But the fact that it was Brad Pitt, he just kind of gets a pit pass at this point. They really are.
Well, listen, I saw him handle a gun in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I'm going to go on the record and say, I'm willing to take private lessons from you, Brad Pitt. I am okay with you wielding a gun.
He's a married man.
Well, yeah, hey, listen.
Would you volunteer to be the nanny of the 10,000
I'll
children?
take care of all those children. Absolutely.
I just think it's a little hypocritical when we look at Hollywood and the liberal propaganda saying like, oh, people who have guns, bad, bad, bad. Hollywood really tries to cater to the audience that wants to see guns. Brad Pitt's new movie Fury is all about guns, so you can't have it both ways, guys. Now you know what we think. What do you think? Tell us on Twitter with the hashtag 444.